Nice and easy, loosey-goosey.
Okay.
That's going to make it into the show, I know it is. Welcome back to another episode of Branching Out with F&M Bank. I'm your host, Mary Pavlovskaya, and today I'm joined by Emily Dennis, owner of Hen House Shoppe in Elkton, Virginia. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So excited to be in your space. Beautiful. I love it. So tell us about what the Hen House Shoppe is.
Hen House Shoppe started in 2018, and it was the idea to have offer clothing for women of all shapes and sizes, to be size inclusive. We offer clothes from size small through 3X, so about a size 0 to size 24. And part of that was born out of I was postpartum, my body was different, and I couldn't find stylish, trendy clothes that I loved for myself, and I felt like if I was having a hard time with that, other people were having a hard time with that. I just took the vision of my love of fashion and began the journey, didn't know what I was doing, so it's been a learn as you go sort of thing. And then our mission behind it is to utilize our business to help single moms.
So tell us about the shop itself. Where do you get all your clothes and all the accessories?
We started sourcing our products online mostly at first. A lot of our vendors are based in Los Angeles. It was definitely a learning curve, trial and error, learning what we liked, what our customers liked, and so forth. And then about 2 years into it, we decided to start sourcing in person at the large fashion shows that are held several times a year. So we go to Vegas and Dallas and Atlanta and different places to the fashion market as well. So we still do online, but also in person.
Something I want to touch on, you've mentioned why you opened the shop, and it was a part of your history and what you've learned, and you were a single mom as an entrepreneur. So tell us what that was like.
So I think part of why women love to come here, which we also love, is that we have built a community among women where as women come in, we get to know them. They're not just our customers, they become our friends. We get to know what their style is, we help them branch out. So it definitely becomes a personal shopping experience, which was a huge part of the goal behind Hen House, was to get to know people, to build friendships and authentic relationship, and influence people to try new things in their fashion and so forth. But also, I was a single mom for about 10 years. And then in 2018, actually following a very sudden death of a good friend of mine, I just thought, life's really short. I want to do what I love, and I love fashion, and I love clothing, and how can I make this happen? And so my husband actually encouraged me to go all in, to not just do it a little bit online, which is what I was doing. It was, let's open an actual store, and so he was behind that, encouraging me, and the vision was born of, let's call it Hen House, let's start this, and let's use it as a tool to get back to single moms and help them to dream again.
Well, tell us about some of the ways that you do. I know you have a wonderful Christmas dinner that you host for single moms. What are you looking to accomplish with bringing the moms in? What is your goal?
When you're a single mom or in any stage in your life, whatever you're lacking tends to get magnified. And so during the holidays, as a single mom, I remember feeling very alone. Even if I was in a room full of my family, I felt alone in my life. What was born out of that was, let's find a way to give back to the moms during Christmas time, which is one of the hardest times. It's also a hard time financially if you're a single parent, mother or father. Usually the last person on your mind is yourself, so let's treat them. And so every December since we've started, it started small. It started with one mom our very first year in business. It's grown each year, and this past December we were able to have sponsorship for 30 moms. So they all receive a gift card to come shop at the store. They get some other little encouraging gifts and different things, and it's a time for them to get together and get to know one another in fun community.
That's a beautiful thing that you're creating. And I'm looking forward to the future. So I know you've opened 2 shops, and I think with that you're just only going to grow, but I know your shop's going to grow, and I know your mission's going to grow. And what are you looking forward to the most?
I think what keeps me going is the vision of what we want to use Hen House for. It's exciting to grow as a business, but anybody who starts a business or stays in business knows it's also very stressful. So I think the mission aspect of it is what keeps me encouraged and going. And so, like, big long-term view, we want to be able to start a foundation, Hen House Shoppe Foundation, where we will sponsor moms and be able to do it more and on a bigger scale. And we actually are hoping to eventually have a place where we can house some single moms, help them get on their feet, and get their finances in order so that they can dream of whether it's owning a small business or going back to school or buying a house, whatever that looks like for them, whatever their dream is.
That's amazing. Now, if you had to give advice either to your former self or a woman, a single mom out there who might be thinking of the same things you are, what advice would you give to her?
So for myself, looking back, I would say it's interesting all the little details that you don't realize are shaping and forming the next steps in your life. So looking back at the things that I loved growing up, the things that inspired me, all of those things have been useful here with this. It's just the little details that end up linked together that bring you, like, hindsight, you're like, wow, that's amazing how that ended up working out. So to single moms, I would say, you know, don't lose what you're passionate about. You never know how that's going to work out. Like, I'm passionate for single moms, and I also am passionate about fashion. And so it's just crazy that it worked out to get to use both together. So, and I think also finding, like, in your dreaming, what's not being done, what's missing in your community that nobody has offered yet. And so growing up, I'm from Elkton. There was no boutique in Elkton, and so it was like, that's something that's missing that we can offer and we can do well because it comes natural to me.
Yeah. Taking what you love and your passion and putting it into what you do. And it's worked out amazingly, and I can't wait to see the next years of what you accomplish, and I'm looking forward to that foundation. I know you're going to do a lot of good in this community.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining me today and sharing your story,
Thanks.
sharing the Hen House story, and what you do for single moms in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Branching Out with F&M Bank.